Hi, welcome back to another reading vlog. I decided to film a week-long reading vlog in which I'll be reading only romance books because I do have some favorite romance books, but I feel like all of those books are all written by the same authors, like the exact same authors. It's always Abby Jimenez, Emily Henry, maybe sometimes Ali Hazelwood. So I'm kind of scared to go out of these like 3 or 4 authors bubble. I always just pick up their own books. Like I'm always scared of like picking something else by other authors because I'm worried that I'm going to like it. I decided to change that and find other romance authors or other romance books that I have never heard of before. And the first book I decided to pick up is The Favorites by Lane Fargo. It's a book that just came out I think in 14th of January, so it's a recent release. I didn't hear anyone else talk about it before other than Carrie Cakes, so I decided to pick it up because I have been on the hunt for books about figure skating for such a long time, and I haven't been able to find that. But I have high hopes for this one because I feel like it's so difficult to kind of do a really good figure skating romance because the chemistry that the figure skaters have on the ice is so difficult to actually put it on paper, but that is actually what I'm looking for. That's what I want. I'm going to read you the synopsis or blurb. To the world they were a scandal, to each other an obsession, an epic love story in the sparkling savage sphere of elite figure skating about a woman determined to carve her own path on and off the ice. Also, I feel like this book has a really good cover because usually romance books have these cartoonish covers. They kind of all look the same right now. This one has a bit of a different look to it, and I actually enjoy this one. I started this book last night, by the way, and I'm really enjoying it. It's like almost 500 pages. I'm only like not even like 3 chapters in or something, and I'm already enjoying it. It is sold through this perspective from they were 16, and then we go back to this documentary that they made about them, and I'm actually really enjoying it right now. I will update you when I'm done, and we'll pick up something else then. I finished The Favorites by Lane Fargo, and this is a new favorite of mine. This is the second 5-star of the year that I have read so far, and if you're picking this book up solely for the romance, I don't recommend this because I don't think the romance was the sole purpose of this book. Like, we're following these characters, Katarina Shaw and Heath Roca, since their childhood, like 6 years or 9 years old, until they are in their 40s. And so obviously you cannot expect this entire book to be just for the romance of them, because this book is so dramatic. There are so many plot points and so many characters, and it talks about the realities of figure skating, the industry figure skating, and it was just so addicting. I just couldn't put this book down, and I enjoyed it so much. The characters felt so real. This book is told through 2 different perspectives, kind of. The first perspective is the one from Katarina Shaw, and the second perspective is this documentary that they have made on her and Heath Roca, her skating partner or partner in life. And in the first part, I did not like the documentary section because it felt like a movie script, and that was kind of taking me out of story. But as the story progressed, it just felt completely natural, and the character growth was impeccable. Like, you see these people, how they started and where they ended up. All of these people, not just our 2 main characters. And this book reminded me of Carrie Soto is Back. Carrie Soto is Back, but a lot more romance with it, with a lot more romance. And I enjoyed it so much. Like, I could not really put it down. It's nearly 500 pages long, and I finished it quite in a short amount of time, even though I was busy. And this was a new favorite book. If you are thinking about picking this book up, just do it because it was amazing. I would love if this book turns into a screen adaptation, whether it's a show or a movie. I would love to see that, because in this book we see a lot of performances, like figure skating performances, that I would love to see on screen. I'm looking forward to reading more from Lane Fargo. She has another book out, but I don't think it's anything to do with romance, but I'm still interested in reading it. And now I'm going to pick up my second book in this week. We're already like 3 days in, I think, and I've already finished the first book. So I think I'm hopefully going to read 3 books in this week, but if not, 2 will be fine. The book I decided on is The Light on the Dark by Mikhail Shishkin. I purposely chose books that I have never heard anyone speak about before, and I got recommended this book by ChatGPT. I don't know much about this book. As I said, I've never heard anyone speak about it, only ChatGPT recommended it, but I will read you the synopsis. Picture two people, young and in love. Picture them being separated from one another. Picture them keeping their love alive through letters. So far, so simple. Now imagine they've not just been separated geographically, but also historically. Imagine that their love and letters now defy time and space, life and death. By now you realize that this novel is unique. I've never read any epistolary novel that is also romance, so I'm excited for this one, and I will see you whenever I finish this book. Update on The Light in the Dark by Mikhail Shishkin. I ended up DNFing that book, and I don't think it's because the book is bad, but just because I was not personally feeling it. I just could not get into it. As I said, it was written like letters between our main characters, Sasha and Volodya or something like that, and I was really hoping that I'm going to love this book, but I found myself looking at how many pages I have left instead of actually enjoying it, and I was trying to convince myself by looking at the Goodreads reviews, because it has so many great reviews. Like, all the reviews on Goodreads are either 4 or 5 stars, so people really love this book. I'm kind of in the minority here for DNFing it and not enjoying it, but I'm just going to give up on it. I don't want to force myself to read something that I'm not enjoying, so I picked up something else, and I picked up Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. I have seen people talk about this one, even though I said I'm picking up books that I haven't heard of before. I have seen people talk about it, but I don't know what it's about. I started last night, and so far I'm not really enjoying it as well. I hope it's going to get better, because I don't want to DNF 2 books in this video. I found a favorite, but I also want to find another favorite, or at least enjoy something else, not DNF to another book. So I'm going to update you whenever I finish it, or hopefully I don't DNF it as well. Finished Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young, and I ended up giving that book 3.5 stars. I don't think it's a bad rating, but it's also not a favorite. The reason for that is because this book started out with our main character getting into a one-night stand with our main guy character, and that turned into a pregnancy. This is not a spoiler because this happens in the second chapter, so it happens really early on. I personally don't like those two tropes in my romance books. I only enjoy the parts when she moved in with the guy. I really loved Bo as a main guy character, but I personally did not enjoy the writing or the story. It just didn't feel like something I would personally enjoy. And I know it's not a bad book, it's just personally it wasn't for me, and I like my books to have a little bit more depth to them. And I also don't like insta-love, and this one had kind of insta-love. I'm definitely going to try more books from this author. This is not my last book by her, obviously. I'm going to try more books by her. Maybe this one just didn't work for me because of the trope that is in here. And I also ended up picking up Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, which came out like a few days ago. I picked that up because it's a sports romance, and as I said, Ali Hazelwood is a hit or miss author for me, and this one was a miss. But to be fair, I didn't give it that much of a chance. I feel like I was kind of burnt out with so many romance that I've read this week, and also I feel like I just in the author's note, she mentioned that she's going to talk about BDSM and stuff like that, so you had to be comfortable with that, and I didn't mind that. But like, in the very early on, I realized that our main character is going to be with her best friend's ex, who they just broke up, and they've been together for many years, like 5 years plus. And so personally, I don't think I'm going to enjoy that, so there's no reason for me to keep going. So I just ended up DNFing it, like until like in 30 pages or something into it, and I checked the reviews, and they confirmed that yes, she ended up with her best friend's ex. And I personally, I'm not going to. I know I'm just not going to enjoy that. So why keep going? So I ended up DNFing that, and I picked something else that isn't a romance. So this wraps up the reading challenge, reading vlog, reading week of reading only romance books. Although this was not the most successful video, I think I ended up finding a favorite book, and that is The Favourites by Lane Fargo. That was my first Lane Fargo, and I did not expect to love it that much. I still think about that book to this day. So even though I did not find a lot of favorites, I found one 5-star. So that is a success, I think, in my opinion. So I will see you in another video very soon, and goodbye.